Observing obscure observances, looking at the calendar for June the 12th. Here we have Crowded Nest Awareness Day. I've never heard of that one, but that reminds me of this joke. It's two worms are on a golf course, and one of them says, I wonder what kind of day it is. Second one says, why don't you go up and find out? So he starts going up the dirt. As he starts going up the dirt, these two female golfers are walking on the course. One of them says, I gotta take a leak. Her friend says, just do it right here. No one's gonna notice. It's early in the morning. So her friend squats down, and the worm pokes his head out of the dirt, and the lady golfer just soaks him. He goes back down the dirt, goes up to the other worm. Other worm says, it's raining, huh? The other worm says, yeah, not only is it raining, it's raining so hard the birds are building their nests upside down. Okay, moving along. Ghost in the Machine Day. Ooh. All right, here we go. There's an interesting little thing here. Ghost in the Machine. I'm kind of intrigued by this one. Wish I could dub in the Twilight Zone music here, but I can't. I don't know how to do it, I should say. Anyway, here we go. Is your mind within your body? Does it exist within your brain, or is it separate from it? These are a few of the questions we ponder on today in Ghost in the Machine Day. Ghost in the Machine is a philosophical phrase having to do with the relationship between the mind and body. It critiques the idea that the mind is a distinct entity from the body by saying that such an idea is like believing there is a ghost in the machine. Gilbert Ryle came up with the phrase and first used it in his 1949 book, The Concept of Mind. In it, he called Rene Descartes' 1949 book, The Concept of Mind. In it, he called Rene Descartes' belief of mind-body dualism the ghost in the machine. Others besides Descartes also believe that there is a mind that is separate from the body and that it can live on after the body dies. Ryan's belief contrasts with this. He believed consciousness and the mind are dependent on the brain and are not apart from it. Nowadays, there are other uses of the phrase, mainstream English. If a device has a ghost in the machine, it means it may have a consciousness that causes it to operate in a way that is contrary to the way that its human operator wants it to function. The term is used by computer operators to describe when a computer runs contrary to how they expect it to. It is not known why Ghost in the Machine Day takes place when it does, but it is the perfect day to contemplate the interconnectedness of your mind and body and to think about devices that seem to have minds of their own. Ooh. So maybe this is like the Twilight Zone. I'm gonna try to go with that. Try for that thing on the Twilight Zone. Submitted for your approval. A world in which the machines act on their own accord, taking over their human counterparts, can only be found here, in the Twilight Zone. Dun, 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 dun. Love me some Twilight Zone. Little League Girls Baseball Day, observed annually on June 12th. No information, darn. Loving Day, observed annually on June 12th. All right, here we go. Okay, hold on, here we go. Oh, what the heck? Let's see. Oh, what the heck? Come on. Oh. Come on now. Why is it not doing what I want to do? All right, where the heck is it? Oh, jeesh. Oy vey. I gotta refresh the page. Hold on, folks. Stand by. I don't know how to edit this stuff, so you gotta bear with me here, folks. Excuse me. Excuse me again, my bad. Again, I don't know how to edit this stuff out just yet. When it comes to editing audio, I got it, but when it comes to editing video, I really don't know what I'm doing. I just cut and paste. All right, here we go. Today marks the anniversary of the 1967 United States Supreme Court decision, Loving versus Virginia, which Today marks the 1967 United States Supreme Court decision Loving versus Virginia, which validated anti-miscegenation laws, which are laws that ban interracial marriage. 16 states had such laws on the book at such time. These laws not only banned marriage between people who are black and white, but sometimes banned marriages between other races as well. Loving Day commemorates and celebrates the Supreme Court decision and highlights its importance to a generation of people who have grown up with interracial marriage being legal. The day also looks at race issues interracial couples still face today. Anti-miscegenation laws go back to colonial times, and all but 9 states had such laws on the books at some point. Loving versus Virginia wasn't the first where anti-miscegenation laws had been challenged. One notable example took place in 1883 when Pace versus Alabama ruled that anti-miscegenation laws were constitutional because both blacks and whites were punished equally. 5 years later, another ruling said that states had the right to regulate marriage. The Virginia anti-miscegenation law that Loving versus Virginia dealt with, the Act to Preserve Racial Integrity, was passed in 1924, and those who violated it could face 1 and 5 years in the federal penitentiary. Well, at least we don't have to worry about that now. I mean, now society has become a lot more accepting towards people of not only interracial groups, but also homosexuality. So we have progressed. I wonder if there was ever a time when handicapped people couldn't get married. I'm just curious. Magic Day. If I'm looking at Magic Day. Observed annually on June 12th. Let me ask you this. Do you believe in magic in a young girl's heart? That's all I know about the song. I don't know the rest of the song, unfortunately. National Automotive Services Professional Day, observed annually on June 12th. Pep Boys, we're car people. That's all I really know about that one. National Jerky Day, observed annually on June 12th. Hey, what's up there, jerky? Not that kind of jerky, but jerky as in Slim Jim. There's no information about that, but I heard on the radio today that the guy who endorsed Slim Jims was Macho Man Randy Savage. Dig it. Ooh, yeah. Want a little excitement? Snap into a Slim Jim. Ooh, yeah. And originally it went to Sam Kinison. That's Sam Kinison, but he turned it down. That would have been something. Now, I can't do a very good Sam Kinison, but I can imagine the commercial. Him saying like, you want a little excitement? Snap into a Slim Jim! Ow! Ow! Anyway. National Marriage Day, observed the second Friday in June. Let's see here. All right, here we go. National Marriage Day. Elkton, a town located in Cecil County in the northeastern corner of Maryland, was once known as the wedding capital of the East. In 1913, Delaware enacted the marriage waiting period law, similar to laws in other states along the Atlantic seaboard. Many people began traveling to Maryland to get married, and especially in Elkton because it was the closest county seat to those traveling to the states from the north. Not only did Maryland not have a waiting period requirement, but they also did not require residency, blood tests, or witnesses. Wedding chapels began popping up everywhere along Main Street, and at one point there were more than 15 of them. During the town's wedding heyday, which lasted for a quarter century, about 12,000 people got married there each year. This was at a time when the town had a population of roughly 3,000. The train that brought people to town was known as the Honeymoon Express, and guests would take taxis from the train station to the courthouse or a chapel. Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, Billie Holiday, and John Fontaine all got married there. In more recent years, Charles Barkley tied the knot in Elkton, and that's all I have about that. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Gee, I really love him and we're gonna get married and we won't be lonely anymore. I think that's how it goes. Da 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 da. Ah, beautiful. National Peanut Butter Cookie Day, observed annually on June 12th. No information. Darn, what a shame. Red Rose Day, observed annually on June 12th. All right, here we go. Okay. Okay, here we go. Oh, there's a short little blurb here. Red Rose Day is dedicated to red roses, which can present love. It's fitting that Red Rose Day takes place in June, as roses have just come into full bloom, and more weddings happen during this month than any other. They are the most popular cut flower, as well as the most popular flower to grow. Ah, very nice. There's actually an album by Bobby Vinton called Roses Are Red, and that's the one that has that song Lonely on it, which for the youngsters out there, I'm sorry, the name of the song is Mr. Lonely, but for the youngsters out there, if you remember the Akon song Lonely, the chorus of the song, Lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely, I have nobody for my own, I'm Mr. Lonely, that was a sample of that. It was just sped up. And the rest of the song is actually really, really good. I've actually listened to that song a couple of times around here because I get very lonely, folks. But at any rate, here we go.
Here's a playlist you might like.
Oh, hang on. Dang it. Hey, guys. Hey, Alexa, cancel. Didn't mean to have that going. All right, Superman Day, also known as Man of Steel Day, observed annually on June 12th. Of course, now I can only think of is that I can think of that song by Crash Test Dummies, Superman song. It's one that goes, Superman never made any money, saving the world from Solomon Grundy. And sometimes I despair the world will never see another man like him. Superman Day was started in 2013 by DC Entertainment, 2 days before the release of the Superman film, Man of Steel. At this time, it was known as Man of Steel Day, and it was not until subsequent years that the day simply became known as Superman Day. Both the name change and the continuation of the days seemed to happen organically. On the inaugural day, DC Entertainment partnered with comic book retailers and bookstores across the United States to celebrate the day and gave out free copies of All-Star Superman 1 Special Edition. Superman was created in 1933 by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, but it wasn't until April 18, 1938 that the Superman we know of today appeared and made his debut in Action Comics 1. It was so popular that Superman got his own comic book the following year. So there you go. Got a couple Superman jokes for you. So Superman's at a bar, and he jumps out the window, and just when he's about to fall on the pavement, he floats back in. Patron says to him, "How'd you do that?" Superman says, "Well, it's very easy. You jump out this window, and just as you're about to fall, a brisk breeze will come back and put you back inside." The guy's like, "All right, I'll try it." So the guy runs and he jumps out the window, but he doesn't come back in. He just splats on the pavement. And the bartender says, "Geez, Superman, you're a real jerk when you're drunk." And one more. So Batman says, "Superman," he says, "What kind of day did you have, Soup?" Superman says, "Oh, I had a really awesome day, man. I was flying around and I saw Wonder Woman on top of her apartment naked with her legs spread. So I flew down and I gave her a shot." Batman says, "Wow, she must have been pretty surprised." Superman says, "Yeah, not as surprised as the Invisible Man." It works better with an audience. It works better with an audience, I think. All right, what else we got? All right, what else? Let's see. Oh, geez, where was it? National Marriage Day, did that. World Day Against Child Labor, observed annually on June 12th. There is no information on that, But that is the end of the video. I'm Lawrence Ross. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.